Hello friends, I'm Deb with Cooking with Mo and Deb. Have you ever heard of Christmas jam? I hadn't heard of it till maybe a couple of years ago. A friend on Facebook made some and sold it, and I tried it and we loved it. We love it on Christmas morning. Of course you can have it at any time, but it's just a special thing that we like on Christmas morning with breakfast. So I decided this year I was going to try to make some. So let me show you how I'm making this Christmas jam. I am using a heated blender. You can make it on the stovetop too, but I'm going to show you the blender, and I'll also give you the directions for stovetop jam. So first thing you do is add a half a cup of water to your blender, and then you'll need 3 cups of cranberries. Add those to your blender. Then we'll need zest. I got a zest and orange. To use zest, there was a time when I didn't really know much about zest and I just skipped that in the recipe. But I don't do that anymore. I have learned that zest is very important to a recipe. When you zest an orange or a lemon or a lime, you want to just take off that top part of the peeling. Don't get down into the peeling because it gets kind of bitter and you don't want that part. So we're going to zest this orange and we're going to put it aside to add a little bit later in this Christmas jam. We don't have a big breakfast on Christmas, but I always like to make a little something that we can snack on after we've had our gift time and sharing time. And before it's time to go to somebody else's house, we usually go to my mom's house. But we like to have a little snack to watch, to eat while we're watching something on TV or while we're sitting around talking. So that's what the Christmas jam is, what we have to go with our Christmas morning breakfast. It's really good. It has some nutmeg and cinnamon in it, and the flavors kind of remind you of Christmas. Okay, after you've zested your orange, set it aside, and now I'm going to peel this orange right quick. We're going to quarter it, and the whole orange is going to go into the blender with your cranberries. And then we've got a couple more ingredients to add. And then we're going to turn the blender on. I'm not going to turn the blender on with you because it's kind of loud, and I don't want you to have to sit through listening to that loud blender. So we'll pause after I get it started, but let me just show you what ingredients go in here after I get this orange peeled. Almost got it. We're going to add some strawberries, and of course we're going to have some pectin. You know, remember in the summertime when you're doing your jelly, strawberry jelly or grape or blackberry jelly, and you've got to have that pectin, or we call it around here jell. We're going to add some of that to it also. That's what makes your jelly gel. You don't want it to be runny. You want it to be kind of gelled. So let me see if I can peel this orange. I'm just going to quarter it. And we're going to just put it into the blender. Just like that. Okay. There goes our orange. It smells really good. And then we have 10 ounces of frozen strawberries. You can use fresh strawberries if you have them. I happen to have frozen on hand, so that's what I'm using today. Ooh, my blender's gonna be full. Okay, after you strawberries, you're going to then add the 1 box of pectin, or in jell is the brand, but it's actually pectin. We're going to open it up and add this 1 package. And then my cooking blender has a jam setting, so I'm going to turn it to the jam setting and just let it run. I can go away and do whatever else I have in the kitchen to do while this does the cooking of the jelly. So that's all there is for the moment. I'm going to put the lid on. And then I'm going to turn it to the jam setting, and it's going to heat up and, you know, of course, blend all that together, heat it up, and cook it. And when it gets done with that, we'll come back and add just a few more ingredients, including that zest. I didn't forget it. The zest will go in and, into it in a few minutes, along with a couple of spices. So I'll be back. My Christmas jam has been cooking in the cooking blender, and the temperature is up to 210. So now it's time for me to add the rest of the ingredients. So let me add 4 cups of sugar. I know that's a lot of sugar, but jelly has a lot of sugar in it. Add our sugar. And then we're going to add that zest from the orange. And then we've got a half a teaspoon of cloves. And a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Then I'm going to put the lid back on and turn the blender back on, and it's going to cook some more till it gets up to 220. And then it'll be time to put it in jars. So while your jelly is cooking, either on the stovetop or in your blender, you can be getting your jars together and sterilizing them. You'll need jars and lids for your jelly. This is making a fair amount, so it's probably going to be 6 to 8 small jelly jars or 4 to 6 of the pint-sized jars. So I'm going to start and get the jars going, and then we'll be back to finish. As you can see, Christmas jam is done, and it's already jamming a little bit in there. I'm going to put it into jars. Since it's in the blender, I can pour it. So let's see how that goes. I'm just going to pour each jar up to the rim. It looks so pretty. So there we go. That's the rim that I'm filling them up to. Let me fill another one. Ooh, it smells good. I smell that cinnamon and cloves. Yeah, I'm going to have quite a few jars of this. This is going to be some Christmas gifts. We're going to put lids and rings on it, and then I'm going to put them in a hot water bath for 15 minutes. And by tomorrow, they should be gelled. And you can even eat it by tomorrow. So I'm going to finish filling the jars, and then we'll put them in the hot water bath, and they will be ready for a ribbon and gifting. So we'll be back in a little while. My Christmas jam is jamming right now in the pot. The lids and rings are on. They've got to boil for 15 minutes so that those lids will seal. And then they'll be ready for a ribbon and a gift, or just to open and eat.